We all live in two different worlds. Now, you might not believe me when I say that, but give me just a few seconds and I'll explain. One world in which we live in is the world that's around us. We occupy space in this world. Now, the other world that we live in is actually in our mind. Yes, the world in our mind is influenced by the world around us, quite obviously, but it doesn't end there. The world that you live in your mind takes what it has perceived around it and expounds upon that. It takes the images and the memories and even the behaviors and the characteristics of what you're doing and what you've done and creates its own version of maybe perhaps what the facts of a past event actually were. Even current events that are happening now, your mind can take that stimuli and turn and twist it to where it fits into your world in your mind, even though it might really not be what's happening currently around you. This world that we live in within our mind even goes so far in a lot of cases to fantastical creations. Call them the hopes and dreams that an individual has. You can start out planning or scheming, however you want to call it, that, here's the path or here's what needs to happen to achieve a goal or to reach a milestone in your life. And your mind will take over that and construct a scenario of its own. Even past events that have happened that maybe didn't turn out for the best or as you had wanted them to, or maybe it's not even as severe as that. Maybe it's just an innocuous event, but your mind will take that and say, I'm going to create a scenario around that, and had I only done this, or had they only said that, I would have come back with this statement. And it builds upon itself until you have this own little scenario within your world that you oftentimes will go back and you'll draw upon. It's not a one and done thing. Just because your mind created it and you moved off of it, that doesn't mean that it's not there, and you might build upon it even more so in the future. That's how your inner world works. It builds upon itself. Now, why this is important is because you need to be careful that the world that you're letting get created within your mind, and yes, you're allowing it to happen, this could spin off into an unhealthy habit to where you could isolate yourself off from the world that's around us and start spending more time in the world that's in your mind. And this, of course, is what leads to a lot of cases of mental illness. And I'm not saying that that's where you are or that's where you're heading. But sometimes people have a hard time discerning that fine line between what's reality around us and what's been fabricated in my mind to help me associate and adapt and conform with the reality around us. So just be aware that everybody lives in two worlds, the world around us and the world that we create and that is created in our mind.